Hi everybody, and welcome to our Q&A with Alisa, who is a system producer at Somerset Film. Alisa is going to be answering some of your questions today, all about her job in, all things digital really, and at Somerset Film. So Alisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. You've said it already. My name is Alisa. I'm assistant producer at the Engine Room, which is a digital media and film production centre in Bridgewater. And I've been working there for about a year and a half, and it's very, very fun.
It does sound fun. From watching the videos, it looks like a really exciting place to work with loads of, like a buzz of energy. I felt that just from watching the videos, so it must be a great place to work. So our first question is from someone called Jay in North Devon, and they said, what do you do at Somerset Film?
That's a great question, Jane. So we do actually a lot. We do everything from, so I coordinate the BFI Film Academy, which is a film academy for 16 to 19-year-olds. And I also coordinate the Film Club, which is for 12 to 15-year-olds. We make films, we help other people make films, and we also run a whole bunch of courses, whether it's animation or screenwriting, pretty much anything to do with digital media. We've also had some sessions with a YouTube star that's come in and run some sessions for us. So anything with kind of camera or sound equipment you can think of, we'll probably do it.
That sounds amazing. What an incredible place to be. So is the club open up to anybody that lives in the area, or is it like a weekly club?
So it kind of depends. This is the first time we ever run it, and this time it was in Minehead specifically, but you can travel from anywhere in Somerset if you did want to come down. And yeah, it's for anybody who's passionate about film or filmmaking. And I forgot the other part of your question, sorry.
I think I said, is it like a weekly thing? Is it regular?
Yeah, so at the moment we're running it over kind of 2 weeks during the half terms, and it's all on our website at somersetfilm.com.
Oh, I think we've lost you a bit there. Oh, are you back?
Are we back?
You're back. I think we had a bit of a connection issue there, but we're all good now. So yeah, it's in the school holidays. That sounds brilliant. So you could go along. So the clubs are open to anyone and they happen in the holidays. I'll make sure I send out some links for anyone that lives in the Somerset area who might want to go along. So that sounds fantastic. So we have another question from Charlie in Exeter, and Charlie said, what was it that made you want to work with technology?
Great question, Charlie. I've actually always been really passionate about film and technology. I pretty much spent all my school days making little videos and just trying to find out and learn as much as possible. So for me, it was when my friends decided to put on a play and they asked me to record it, and I just loved it so much. I had such a great time that once I left school, I kind of thought, oh, this is definitely something I want to do. Ooh. If you can hear the flies.
That sounds really amazing. So it was something that you were really passionate about, and you took it, so it's almost started off as a hobby that you then developed and picked up all these skills, and eventually you've turned it into a career. That's fantastic. And sort of, obviously technology's developed so quickly in the last few years. Did you find that you were sort of learning something new all the time with filming and just basically experiencing all these new technologies?
Yes, definitely, especially with everyone home working. We've done so much. I've learned to vision mix, which is where you set up different cameras and you kind of do live video editing by choosing which cameras it goes to, similar to sports events. We did that, and of course we learned to use this wonderful program called Ecamm, where you get to stream something and send it to, say, for example, like YouTube, Facebook and Instagram all at the same time. So it's been so amazing to learn all these new skills and stuff that I can use at work, but I can also use at home, for setting up events with my friends online or streaming our gaming sessions. Yeah, it's really, really useful to learn.
That sounds brilliant and definitely useful. I think even if you didn't work in film, it would still be a really important sort of skill to have, because especially over lockdown, I know that sort of like sports, so like dance and yoga lessons have all gone online, and then people streaming live music. So being able to know how to stream your own things and promote your own things online is really important skill. So that sounds great.
Cool.
So another question we have from Lauren in Devon. She's asked, did you do digital subjects at school?
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, I did whenever I could. I loved IT. I really loved it. I'll never forget, one of our first projects was 3D building a robot, and I was just obsessed. I was obsessed with it. But, you know, I didn't choose to do it for my A levels or anything like that. So it's not to say that because I had a bit of a gap in between that and then I came back to it, it was still completely possible to get into the digital world, you know, even if I didn't do it all the way through my education. But yeah, and then at A levels, I kind of came back to it when I took film studies, and I took photography as well, which we did some digital photography, which was cool.
Fantastic. That sounds interesting. So yeah, even though it might not have been your choice of subject all the way through, it sounds like you definitely sort of worked on it throughout education. What were your A levels, just out of interest?
Oh, very creative. I did film, dance, and photography. Yeah.
Again, all subjects that require digital skills at some point during the subject. So yeah, interesting. So we have another question from Jenny in Devon, and Jenny's asked, what was your job before you started working at Somerset Film?
These are all great questions. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Yes, actually, I think my digital skills were really useful for my job before. I actually worked in a call center, but it was a women's charity. So my work was basically helping women make medical appointments and things like that over the phone. But all the skills that I'd learned in school were really helpful, because I got to set up 2 screens and I had to go through lots of different systems and programs. And yeah, so working in the charity sector, even then, you know, even working for a charity, having these digital skills was really important and really useful, because I didn't kind of start the job and think, oh no, you know, how do I even get started? Which is fine, but yeah, it's just so much fun to learn.
Yeah, definitely. And did you find that the people at the job were really supportive, and anytime you had a question, you could just ask?
Yes, absolutely. There were no silly questions. Everything was good to go. And that's just perfect, because the more questions you ask, the more you learn.
Absolutely, so true. And it's brilliant to be able to pick up digital skills off somebody who already knows them. It's just the best way to learn, definitely. So we have a question from Kelly in Torquay, and Kelly has asked, what kind of technology do you use in your job, and how did you learn to use it?
Oh, that's a big question. What technology do I not use at my work? As a system producer, it's a little bit of everything. So really, all the way from all the regular computer skills you need, so kind of Microsoft Office to Zoom, and then there's also the filmmaking side of it. So I use sound recording equipment, camera equipment, streaming equipment. We have some drones that we operate as well. So everything is kind of digital, really, and knowing how to upload footage online onto YouTube and social media as well. Those digital skills are more and more important in so many jobs. And actually, I didn't think I would love it, but I love doing the digital side of social media, because you get to design stuff and you get to schedule when you're going to post everything. And it's just really fun. It's a lot of different technology and digital media that we use, but it keeps you on your toes, definitely.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Sounds like you're definitely a digital native. You've got the sort of specific skills for your job in the film with the cameras and the drones, but then also the marketing side of things is so important. No matter what job you're in, it's great to know how to use social media and how to use Microsoft Office and all those kind of things. Brilliant. So we have another question from James in North Devon, and James has asked, what is your favourite part of your job?
Oh, my favourite part. For me, the favourite part is actually problem solving, specifically on set. So figuring out why the camera isn't working, or editing footage together afterwards, I love as well. That's a really fun digital skill. You get to really make stories come to life. So probably between those two, I think.
They do sound exciting. I think problem solving would be just sort of like you get this eureka moment where you're like, oh, I've sorted it, I've done it, and then you know something new. That must be really exciting. Yeah, that sounds brilliant. So our next question is from Freya in Devon, and Freya has asked, what was your favourite subject at school?
Ooh, it's a funny one, because although I didn't keep doing it, I think I really, really did love IT. I think it was amazing because you could just look at a blank screen on the computer and you could create anything at all. This was before Minecraft, everybody, so you didn't quite create the worlds that are being created now, but it was just amazing having nothing and then building something. And even better now that we have 3D printing technology, I imagine now you could also really bring it to life by creating a physical object. So yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot.
Brilliant, definitely. And we've had another business in the Southwest called Fish Tech, who actually do 3D print these components that help protect marine life when people go fishing. So really, really clever. It's amazing what you can do now. But I totally agree. I loved the way, even though you might not be really great at a certain thing, so say you needed to create a poster for something, if you can't draw very well, if you do it on the computer, you can create something really eye-catching and make it look amazing, even though you might not feel like you can draw very well. So those digital skills just come in so handy, don't they?
Yeah.
So another question is from Jago in Torbay, and Jago has asked, do you think it's important to be good on a computer?
Oh, I think yes. I think definitely yes. Especially if you enjoy it. I think then lean into it, because it's just the gift that keeps on giving. You know, every job I've had and kind of really enjoyed has required some kind of computer skills. So whether it's, you know, we also run games academies where we design and bring games to life as well. So yeah, I think definitely it's a way to connect with other people as well. So you don't necessarily, I don't think, need to know everything or be the best at, you know, all the 3 different editing softwares that are available and industry standard. But it's really good to just have a play, I think, so that mostly if you do need to do something, or if you want to try to do something, it's a little bit less intimidating just because you've had a little bit of a fiddle and a little bit of a play around. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good answer, but I do think it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely a good answer, because it's more about not necessarily important to be good on a computer, but important to be willing to be good. So important to be enthusiastic and want to learn. So although you might not feel like you're good right now, you might feel like you're brilliant. But if you don't, then there's always space to learn, and there's always that drive to go and learn something new. So definitely. So another question here is from Sam in Somerset, and Sam has asked, do you like working in the Southwest?
Yes, I love it. Yes, I do love it. It's so wonderful. You know, I used to live in Manchester, and let me tell you, the weather is so much better here. But also it's wonderful. You know, I work in Bridgewater, which is fairly rural, and it's so nice because there's such a strong sense of community, and you start to feel like you're in a real little world and a family of filmmakers and creatives and digital, you know, people who just know so much. So I definitely think the Southwest is a great place to be. I have to be honest, when I did my film masters and I thought, I'm going to go pursue film, I didn't think I would end up in Somerset, but I'm so glad I did, because there's so much exciting work happening here and so many unique stories and people that are doing really, really great work. That's just really fun to be part of. Like over lockdown, I ended up going around 6 different arts venues and filming a panto, you know, like where else can you do that? You know, it's so wonderfully Somerset, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
That's good. Yeah, that's brilliant. And I would agree. I also grew up north, well, sort of north in the Midlands, and moved down here to Cornwall. And yeah, I just think the opportunities down here and the technology that's being developed and the creativity, all of that put together, it is a really, really brilliant place to be, definitely. So we have a few more questions left. This one's from Joe in North Somerset, and Joe's asked, what advice would you give to someone who'd like to get a job in film?
Oh, great. I wish I could have told myself this answer a few years ago. But if you're interested in working in film, you know, or being a filmmaker, it's in the title, you know, you have to go and make films. They don't have to be great, and I can kind of guarantee you the first couple won't be, and that's okay. It's all parts of the game, you know, and the deal of pursuing filmmaking. But really, it's just about getting together with your friends, going to film festivals. Lots of them are free or cheap. You can even go volunteer at some, and then you get free tickets. Just really anything where you can also just get to see more films. So watch as many as you possibly can and go talk to people about it. You know, maybe you'll never know, you know, you might actually end up talking to your friend who you've known for years and years and say, oh, I'd really like to make a film. And they'll go, no way, that's all I want to do that. So I'd say surround yourself with people and go find people that have an interest in it too. You know, somebody might want to write, or somebody might want to do camera or editing, and just have a play around, because in the industry, really, you know, I could sit here and say you need to go get a degree and you need to, you know, there's all these particular steps you need to take, but the reality of it is that what you need above anything is just passion and a really good can-do attitude. Just a willingness to get stuck in. Don't be precious about what you're doing, because all of it it's really, really wonderful and interesting. So yeah, even if you've got a big dream of being a director, you know, there's a great story where I don't remember the exact screenplay it was, but somebody was literally just fetching a cup of tea for a director, and they happened to end up in a lift, and they had like 2 seconds, you know, the classic elevator pitch to pitch their film. And because they were in the right place at the right time, they ended up having a chat, and then they made a whole feature-length film, you know. I did tell that story in the best way, but yeah, just surround yourself, put yourself in the environment, get creative and have fun. I think that's the most important thing, just have fun.
Absolutely. You never know who you're going to meet, and if you just push yourself and get stuck into something you enjoy, you could end up, if you wanted to be a filmmaker, making a film. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people watching today are probably, most of them are already filmmakers from this magical TikTok app that everybody's got these days. You're already a video editor if you use that. So, you know, you can take those basic skills and make them into something else with different software, or, you know, making longer films, and yeah, eventually working your way up. But the more you practice, the better you'll be. So absolutely. Okay, so we've got a couple more questions. We have one from Bella in Plymouth, and Bella asked, if you could choose any dream job, what would you choose?
See, that's the magic. That's the magic, because I have my dream job. I really have my dream job. And I think the reason that I have it is because I just went for it. You know, you just go for it. Yes, of course, I would maybe eventually like to direct my films, but I think it's important to know that every step can be your dream job. You know, if you enjoy it a lot right now, then that's your dream job for now. And that's the case for me. And I'm just open to that changing, you know. So you might have a dream of being an editor right now, or doing the music score, you know, digitally putting a music score together, and just knowing that it's okay for that to change down the line, because the amazing thing is that in every job that you have, you gain so many skills. But yeah, just going for it, and then you end up with your dream job somehow. Yeah, don't give up.
Absolutely. It's so true, though. It's absolutely true. And also true that your dream job can change. You won't necessarily have the same dream job at age 14 that you do at age 25, at age 35, and so on. So yeah, I think that's a really, really great message of whatever your dream job is, just go for it. So last question is from Josie in Torbay, and Josie says, do you think every job needs someone with digital skills?
Every job. Oh, well, I don't know about the whole wide world. A little part of me hopes maybe not every job. I certainly know that in the film industry, yes, definitely, because even, you know, even if you're the person who's just making the coffees, and that's where a lot of us start, almost all of us, there might be an opportunity where somebody says, oh, this person's not been able to come in today, could you do it? And so, you know, if you get that opportunity, but you have to say, oh no, I don't really know how to, you know, do this or do that, then you might miss opportunities. So, you know, I think all the way through the ladder of the filmmaking world, it's a really valuable skill to have. Definitely,
I totally agree. And I think I would say, you know, in the whole world, probably not every job needs digital, or maybe not even in this country, but most jobs would need a slight bit of digital skills at least. Like even just, you know, if you're working in the engine room cafe, you need to be able to use the till. So that's a bit of digital skills. And, you know, if you're doing the marketing, then you need to be able to use the computer and the social media. But even if you're, well, I mean, like if you're a doctor or anything, there's some level of digital skills, definitely. But yeah, amazing. So I think that is all of our questions. Is there anything else that you wanted to say, or?
Yes, just to say that the engine room is open, and we are very, very excited to welcome anybody in, either online on online events or in person if you want to pop down to the cafe. We're very, very excited to talk to anybody who's interested in film, video, or gaming even. So if you have more questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We'll be very happy to talk to you.
Fantastic, thank you, Alisa. And it sounds like a really exciting place to be. Most people watching will have already seen it in the video, so I'll make sure that they have links and everything to be able to find out where it is, because that would be brilliant. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for answering our questions today. It's been brilliant learning all about what it's like to work in film and to have digital native skills. We hope everybody's enjoyed hearing about Alisa's job today, and check back on the Digital Engagement Pilot landing page for more of our Q&As. Thank you.